What is up, Viltrumites? Today we're probably going to go to the city because today is a rest day. But this will be like a combined video of a rest day and like a training day. Because in all honesty, I don't do much on my training days except for train, eat, sleep, and game. So today, cardio, steps, and we're going to go to the city to go buy some clothes. No clothes, well, socks, because my mom scolded me. She's like, you have to take pictures for all your clothes, but you don't have any nice socks. I'm like, yeah, well, and I'm not gonna waste money on socks. And well, she's kind of right. I don't have any white socks. I only have black socks because I never wore white socks in my life. They're filled with holes. Same with my underwear. Hey, Filter bank account low as fuck. So, yeah, buying socks, like not really that much of a, well, I say Viltrum bank account is low, but yesterday I bought like what? I pre-ordered some games. So yeah, the Viltrum bank account, well, it's called priority, okay? It's called priority. But if you want to support your boy, code STACHE on youngla and huge supplements. Yeah, like I'm telling you, you want to get a new tattoo and stuff like that, but I always have like this like you can probably tell I like Japanese tattoos and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, recently I watched the videos of the Trent twins going to Japan, same with Lex Little. And each time I see Japan, I like, want to go there because the history and culture interests me, certainly like the history and stuff like that. But I have the bad habit. I play one Japanese game, like I think I was playing Ghosts of Yote, and I saw the symbol of like a dragon. I'm like, hey, that's a Japanese dragon. That's cool as shit. Lo and behold, 1 month later. And I also always wanted a tiger because in Japanese mythology, the tiger and the tiger and the dragon always, is combined because it's the divine versus the not divine. Earth versus the divine, something like that. And I was planning to get it on the other side of my neck, but I'm like, I really like tigers. And I want to be able to look at the tattoo. So, yeah. Dad isn't going to like this one, but I might get it on my hand. Like, because that's just tough, to be fair. Hand tattoos are tough. Oh, I really need to take a shit. Back to the cause. Yeah, today we're going to Foot Locker to go get me some nice socks. Because else I get those on-brand, like non-brand socks. But my mom was like, you need to look good on the pictures and the videos. So you're gonna get brand socks. So if I'm lucky, my mom will pay them. Grown-ass man, by the way. Well, 23, but still. Basically grown. Also see they have some nice shoes because I have like the Nikes. But the color combinations I have are like black, red, gray, and little red, not much. Then I also have the Christmas ones, I call them white, green, black, white, green, red. Then I have full on black. So I'll see if they have any other nice colors because most of the time they're in sale. Now we'll be on our way to the gym for a nice push session and then a posing check-in with my coach to see, we're far from being there, but then he can give me updates, like less food, more cardio, more steps, stuff like that. So let's hope it's a positive update. With positive, I mean change, because, well, like I said, hardest thing for me is the patience. That'll come with time, but it's just because, this cut, I decided, like, look, I'm going to go so deep into the cut that I'm like, all the fat that I've been carrying as a kid, because I used to be a fat kid, will be gone, and I'll be a whole new person. Like, I see this not as just a cut. I genuinely see this as, like, a new chapter for me, because after this cut, I'm completely done with powerlifting as well. I'm going full on bodybuilding, because the way I deadlift does hinder me in my bodybuilding capabilities, because it's more of a central nervous system exercise than it is an actual muscle building exercise. Yeah, the end of a chapter and the start of a new one. So very excited for the next bulk. We'll have an arm day, which has been like 4 years since I've had an arm day. And more volume, because I can recover way more now without the deadlifting. Once I'm back home, I'll also give you guys some tips and some tricks to make cutting easier, hunger-wise. Hunger and just mentally to make it easier. Well, in a way, cutting mentally is easier because, well, yes and no, because the hunger plays a big part. Oh, damn. Because the hunger plays a big part, but then on the other side, you constantly see change. You know, you wake up, you're like, oh, I can see my abs better, or, oh, yeah, my shoulders are popping more, which I think is more of a indicator that you're making progress. And in the bulk, when you start bulking, when you go from extremely lean to bulking phase, or well, not that I've ever been extremely lean, but let's say from last cut when I was at my leanest, the first like 3 months you literally explode in size because, you know, glycogen stores replenish, all that type of stuff. So you're like, oh yeah, gaining. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm putting on some fluff. Definition is not what it used to be. My appetite is not that. And then it's like hard mentally to keep pushing, if that makes sense, to keep pushing the food in, because you're like, I'm getting fluffy, I don't feel the best, I don't look my best, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I struggle with the most, because I am literally afraid of getting fat, because, well, I used to be fat and I never want to be fat again. And that's the thing with it. It's like I see myself getting fluffy and that's where it starts, you know. And I literally have to tell myself, accept the fluff, accept the fluff, accept the fluff. You'll be jacked, you'll be bigger, next cut. And I talked a bit with my coach. Next approach for my cut will be, well, extremely lean. And then when we do bulk again, we'll try to stay as lean as possible, or just get even leaner while I'm bulking, which might sound weird, but that's what we'll try to do. Or at least try to keep the same conditioning. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most, because once you've been lean, your metabolism changes around and it's a lot harder for your body to store body fat. So yeah, I'll be driving to the gym now. See you guys there.
You're waiting for the next attack. You better stand, there's no turning back. The bugle sounds, the charge begins. But on this battlefield, no one wins. The smell of iron smoke and horse's breath is a virgin into sudden death.
Cutting, I think it would be very appropriate for me to give some tips and tricks on how to get shredded. First of all, eat a lot of volume. Don't fall for the eat this oat cake or eat this oat cake and this and like all the TikTok trends you see. First of all, if you're actually cutting, you won't be able to eat loads of that type of food because oat's very dense. So for example, what I eat a lot is rice, cream of rice, because you can just thicken that up with baking soda, and, well, post-workout cereal. Then vegetables, high volume like salad and stuff like that, just fills up your plate, and that's what you want. Same with potatoes. Switch out your carb sources for like white potatoes, because it's insane how much you can eat of white potatoes Cut them up into fries, have them with your steak, some 0-calorie sauces, you're golden. Then, I found this some like 2 years ago. I was walking into the Asian supermarket and they had shirataki noodles or konjac noodles. They're 400 grams, 9 calories. I replace my vegetables with the noodles because I just like it a bit more than I like the vegetables. And it is simply amazing. I think on my training days I have 300 grams of it with one meal, because I replace some unnecessary calories that I used to have, like certain sugar-free drinks which amount up to 20 calories at the end of the day, which I could just replace with extra greens and vegetables and stuff like that. It's wow. And then activity-wise, first of all, make sure you get your steps. My priority list to get shredded is, number 1, your food, of course, being a calorie deficit. Number 2, training with weights, strength training, bodybuilding training. 3, your sleep. Yes, I will put sleep above the 10K steps and above the cardio because you sometimes underestimate how important sleep truly is. Then comes the 10K steps or more, if possible. Cardio, and then all the small stuff like, replacing certain foods. The number 1 priority is the calorie deficit. It is. And, of course, enjoy it. Enjoy the progress. You can see yourself change, let's say, weekly, you see changes. So I would say enjoy it. Enjoy the changes you see week to week. Week to week, you'll see, not at the start though. The start will be hard because you will lose all the glucose in your muscles, so you'll look a bit flatter while still carrying the body fat. First kilos you see go off the scale, it's not body fat. That's stomach content, which is like the food from all the extra food you've been having before because you're bulking, and fluid retention. And also a very nice thing about cutting is my inflammation is so low that I can barely feel any tweaks in my muscles. For example, sometimes when I bulk, I feel like something in my elbow. It flares up, and then when I cut, it goes away, and then it stays away when I start bulking again until my body is extremely tired again. Then it comes back. So I hope this helps out because I know a lot of you are struggling with how can I get shredded, and also track everything you do. But like, even if you use 0-calorie sauces, I made that same mistake. Please weigh it. If you say I'll have 30 grams with a meal, have 30 grams or 50. It doesn't matter, because sometimes you're a bit more hungry. You have a bit more of a sweet tooth that day. Cravings kick in. And then instead of the usual 30 grams or 50 grams, I'm speaking from experience here, you just keep doing it, then like, oh yeah, that's enough. That's enough. And at the end of the ride, you just put in more than 50 calories worth of 0-calorie sauce. So you'd be surprised how fast things are. Same with your greens. Don't just, oh, I'll just cut an onion or I'll just cut broccoli up and just throw it in there. Weigh it. If you say I have 100 grams of greens, I have 100 grams of greens. If I have 100 grams of paprikas, I'll use those, or bell peppers. Weigh and track everything. Track your hydration as well. Track everything you do, and then you will start seeing a lot of progress. Same with the sleep. Trust me, people underestimate how important sleep is. Sleep is your number 1 supplement. Nothing can replace sleep. Sleep is so important. People, when I tell people this is sleep, so it is one of the most important aspects, not only to human life, but also just to health in general. You need sleep. Get 7 to 9 hours, if possible even 10. I have some days where I sleep 10 hours when I can. or when I'm actually like, for example, when I had an extremely heavy deadlift the day before, like a 1 rep max, I just used to sleep for 10 hours because I noticed if I slept for 8, I would still feel a bit groggy because of the deadlift, tired. After leg day, I usually try to sleep a bit longer because your body is extremely taxed from it. So keep these things in mind, and I hope they will help you out. When I'll be bulking again, I'll give you some tips and tricks on bulking because I know some people have a hard time bulking compared to cutting. For me, cutting is, let's say, harder because less food. Mentally, it's a bit easier because I can see change. And then it gets harder when you don't see any change. For example, now I don't see much change day to day, and it's like, what does that make me do? That doesn't want to make me eat more. That makes me want to drop the food more, eat less. But I have a coach, so I listen to him. If he says less, it's less. If he says stay on the same, we stay on the same. Because like this morning, my weight fluctuated back up. It went from 100.8 kilos to 101.9. A lot of you guys will see that and start to flip out. I flip out a bit as well. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? That's normal. Your weight fluctuates. Your weight can fluctuate between 0.5 to 1.5 kilos or even more a day, all depending how much did you sweat, how much salt did you have, how much, again, stomach content. If you ate extra greens but your calories are lower, the first couple days you will weigh more because your stomach is filled with more. So keep all those things into account and your cut will go great. You will have an amazing transformation. And don't change the way you train. Keep training with heavy weights. Keep training till failure, because now you really need to pay attention to it, because your body also keep trying to progress your lifts. It's not because you're in a calorie deficit that you can't build muscle. That's the biggest myth there is. Or the, how should I say, circumstances easier to build muscle when you're bulking? Yes. But that doesn't mean that you can't build muscle in a deficit. Keep that in mind again. Cut will go great. So I hope this helped you guys out a bit. I don't really have much to film other than that today, next to that and my training. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop down in the comments below what you would like to see, tips and tricks, video ideas. Let me know anything. Remember, all is ours, and enjoy your day.